So historically, what we think of today as the Columbia Slough Watershed was really an active part of the Columbia River floodplain.
When the slough was connected to the Columbia River, it was a vast open channel of floodplains and ponds and oxbows, and salmon habitat in the rivers and streams in this area have been significantly altered to accommodate infrastructure.
And so young salmon who are migrating from the headwaters down out to the ocean are still coming up the Columbia Slough looking for shelter and looking for refuge.
So without that connection and flooding element and mature forest to feed the channel, mature large wood that would naturally fall into the stream and create cover and food and resting areas, we are taking it upon ourselves to kind of jumpstart those habitat processes for these fish that keep coming back.
We knew going into the project we had an idea that we needed to provide Refugia to juvenile salmonids in the system. So we took a step back and we formed a multidisciplinary design team. So we brought in engineers, construction folks, ecologists, biologists, revegetation experts, even public outreach folks, geotechnical engineers, to build a team to develop concepts of what we want these structures to look like and how they should be functioning.
So not only are these structures protecting these fish from predators, they're also providing a food source. We like to think of them as buffets for animals that eat these insects.
So we developed the structures to have lots of porous areas. Then we also wanted to provide more smaller spaces for the small juveniles to hide away from predators. So we packed every structure really tightly with slash. So that's the branches that we trimmed off the trees during harvest. We actually brought in branches and treetops from other projects that weren't ours. We shipped into the site and kind of recycled for the project.
So R&G was our general contractor, and they were the ones that procured getting the logs, the staging area, all the rock, the anchors on site, and Bergeson Marine Construction is a subcontractor, or the ones that brought the barges, the excavator, the boats, everything down from Astoria. And with the barges being so wide, the access to get to the site, in some places there was only 6 inches between the bridge vents. And then you had the tide, so the tide, of course, would change the elevation if it was high tide, which you wanted to have the high tide to be able to float the barges, which raised the barge up underneath the bridges, which we had to go underneath constantly. And in some places, it was inches. So it's a really, really tight fit.
We planned the work for high water so we could do water-based construction. But then when the high water season came, there was no water. We actually had the lowest water in the lower Columbia Slough in about 25 years. Our contractor, Bergeson Marine, really rose to the occasion. They were determined, they were creative, they worked hard, and they got it done, and it was amazing to watch.
The project was, I thought, highly successful. We finished early on our schedule and under budget. So we think that was very much a success.
So the bottom line is that wood is good. When we can pack a habitat with wood, fish are definitely going to benefit.
It's the best job I've ever been on in 37 years. That's how good it was. And it was a success. And the team, I mean, we made friends. Friends for life, actually.